are listening to Lucha Underground.
Welcome to Lucha Afterground.
Welcome to Lucha Underground.
The prominent Lucha Underground after show. My name is Max.
I am Travis.
I am Big Earl.
All right. And so we missed last week, and we're going to go through the last two episodes as quickly as we can, hopefully within the course of 1 hour. Mm-hmm. We missed it last week because it was very difficult for the internet to cough up a free episode for us here in Canada, where the
El Rey Network does not exist.
Yeah, precisely. So, anyways, let's not incriminate ourselves any further. Let's skip right into episode 3.
The hunt is on.
Yeah, first match of the night. Does anybody remember what it was?
Yeah,
because I don't.
Bengala versus Kobra Moon.
That was the first match of the night.
Yeah.
Kobra Moon impressions.
I didn't dig it at all.
Yeah.
I was so disappointed because the promo the week before looked great, and then the execution was mediocre.
I thought she had a really cool getup, a unique style, different, more sex than I expected.
Oh, really?
And I don't think the sex worked as much. The tongue was a little kind of, oh, you're gonna go that way with this, but. I thought the match was pretty good, actually. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate the match. And it was an intergender match. It's the best intergender match I think we've seen in season 2 so far.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a fact. That's a fact. For me personally, Kobra Moon, I didn't know anything about her. I don't know who she is. I was intrigued by the promo. And the match I was disappointed. Yeah. I was disappointed by her in-ring performance. She's crazy sexy. She's also cool. She's got thick.
She hit the TLC trifecta.
Guys, what was that?
Crazy sexy,
cool. Come on, guy, get on board with TLC.
I bet you she gets a lot of fan mail.
Crazy sexy cool. I suppose so.
TLC?
I know who TLC is.
Do you remember that their popular album, Crazy Sexy Cool? I feel like we're getting sidetracked.
And the follow-up. It's fine. What's fan mail?
Lunar Snake or whatever her name was. Very thick through the hips. Congratulations to her.
She won the match.
Yep. I'll take your word for it.
Not a bad match. And I think she uses submission holds, which is what kind of worked in the
like a boa constrictor.
Yes. Yeah, and it and there's a nice hurricanrama to the outside.
What was that?
How do you say hurricanrama? Hurricanrana. Thank you. As I said, so that would have been one of the 100 that I would not have got right. But that's a well-known. But it worked.
Or if you ask Scott Steiner, it's a Frankensteiner. And if you say Hurricanrana in front of him, he'll gouge your eye.
Is that a fact?
Violence. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah,
I did.
Okay, good. Are you going to cut out the part where you asked if we heard it?
Probably
not.
Guys,
here's the thing that the listener at home doesn't know. Max is shit-faced.
Not true.
Max is shit-faced.
Not true.
Welcome back, everybody.
Not true.
This match is getting snug.
All right. So, Kobra Moon.
I gotta say, you were really high on it before, just with that vignette. I thought it was fine. I maybe you were expecting too much.
Yeah, definitely. I think I blew it up in my mind to be something bigger than it was. I was just, I love to be surprised by wrestling, and I was really surprised by the promo 2 weeks ago. That was like, here's a lady snake wrestler named Kobra Moon, and I'm a creative guy, but I'm not going to come up with the name Kobra Moon in a million years. And when I heard it and when I saw her, I was like, this is unpredictable. Yeah. And I was excited. And then when she showed up and she didn't deliver.
She delivered if you were expecting some thick hips.
Oh, yes, true. But she delivered in the hip department.
Thick hips. And that's great.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? The crowd was chanting Mamacita, and I know that she had a smile on her face.
Yep.
I remember that. That was a serious moment.
Yeah.
So
As we all
I'm
know,
not ashamed of my opinion about the hips.
Mamacita
She's not
is Spanish for you gave us a boner.
I'm not saying when I said that some of the sex didn't really work. I still think she's incredibly sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's a question: who's sexier, Kobra Moon, or Sexy Star?
Kobra Moon.
Kobra Moon, yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's not even
The
close.
thing is, I don't think Sexy Star.
This is the tweet.
Yeah.
Lucha Afterground. Who's sexier than Sexy Star? ? Find out. Follow this link.
It's
People are gonna love
it's
that.
just a link to a picture of me looking at a picture of Mil Muertes.
Oh my god!
Seriously,
What a body! What a bod!
This match is getting snug.
All right, we got 2 episodes to get through. Let's fucking pick it up.
What happens after Kobra Moon?
That was first vignette is Katrina. Phoenix comes in saying he wants Cuerno. It's
Okay.
quick and easy. And then into you're right. It does go back a millennia ago. The next sequence goes back a millennia ago. The man from the stars. The 7 tribes are at war. That's when so we learned that a millennia ago is when these 7 tribes first started their war.
Back in the last millennium.
Deliver this
they're talking about-
backstory, Travis. Deliver this backstory to this.
Yeah.
1 second.
Okay.
Okay, now go.
The 7 tribes are at war. Aerostar. His special effects are so bad. I don't understand why they spend. All I know are the 7 tribes are at war, and it's related to the Dragon Azteca. But
It's so weird. How do you even compute what? This is Travis's inability to cleanly
Maintain an
and
erection.
cohersively explain what happened is. Well, I mean, I think that's a genuine reflection of like the fan base's reaction to seeing Aerostar standing next to
Like an
Aztec tribesman from 10,000 years ago or something. Like, what was even happening there?
But this is why we love Lucha Underground, right?
Oh, absolutely.
That's correct.
It just took a step too far for me.
Really?
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
That's why I don't understand why are Aerostar's special effects. They spend so much money on. I heard they spend 6 figures per episode.
Sure.
That's insane.
I believe that.
But every
That's a crew
Yeah.
salary.
yeah.
People cost
yeah,
money.
Sure.
Unions.
6 figs per app.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to speak things quick enough. I want to get home.
when Drago flies away, he gets like that massive like mushroom cloud fireball. But for
Tactical
Aerostar,
nuke. You lit it up a tactical nuke.
Aerostar has like 5 kids holding like
Sparklers.
those birthday sparklers.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, they just can't figure it out with him. But then he goes off and like goes off. You see a star go away. So my impression is that little star landed last season in the temple.
Okay.
The pauses.
Okay.
The
You're
pauses.
putting too much pressure on me, Kevin.
No.
You're putting too much pressure on
I
me.
got it all here. You tell me where you want to go.
Go. Let's move on.
Next segment.
Yes.
Cuerno's pumping iron.
Yeah.
We know that he's still protecting Mil Muertes.
Gracias.
I'll leave. I'll lay off.
And Katrina shows up, and they kind of have a quick little tete-on-tete, like, we've got our deal. And what I got from this, what I wrote down is, he likes to smell, she likes to lick.
Yeah. I remember feeling like Katrina's what's the name of the woman what's the actress's name? Katrina. What is her name?
Can you
Carly something. I think.
Carly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to say that I feel like her entire energy shifted for this episode. She was acting differently. Mm-hmm. She had been acting in a very, very slow, strange,
What's
confident
that
way,
like?
very still in the first 3 episodes, or the first 2 episodes. And in this episode, she suddenly became much more animated. And it was weird to me, especially because Cuerno also seemed the same way, far more animated. The amount of flourish when he sniffs Katrina's neck is weird. It's out of character. It is out of character. I'm telling you guys.
Yeah, I thought it was okay because he's the hunter.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this is acting kind of killed it this time.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna talk about my least favorite acting later.
All right. What's the next segment? What do you else get?
Match number 2: Jack Evans versus Drago.
Kevin, you love it.
Interesting. In the first episode, you asked who would you guys like to see? Who are you looking forward to seeing? I said Jack Evans. Mack said Drago.
And then Kerblamo.
And we get him. And fucking, I really enjoy watching a guy like Jack Evans because he does so much innovative stuff. That he takes moves in a way that's really impressive and different. And he took a blockbuster, like a running buff blockbuster, where he landed on the fucking crown of his head. And his neck, he's Gumby.
It's like an inside-out DDT. Is that the one that we're thinking of?
Yeah, it kind of cuts a flip on the run and grabs the head. And he planted him, and it just looked like he died, and it was great. Yeah, because he didn't die.
I thought Jack Evans showed more personality in this match than he did all of last season. I thought he was he looked like a good hand last season and somebody that can just put in there. And now he looks like he's somebody that they could have a storyline for. I thought this match had an excellent opening pace. Again, a good cockiness from Jack Evans, and fun overselling at times. Remember, he sold he did a spin off of a hit, like a good corkscrew kind of twirl.
I actually don't, but I'm super impressed by your notes. These are super detailed.
This is me. Hey,
from last week,
because I'm dropping snowflakes. Remember, I said I wouldn't give stars unless a match had 3 or more, and I'm dropping snowflakes in this.
Gracias.
So that's. I got to give shout out to my buddy Kelly, who's at the Place to Be Nation at Titans of Wrestling. He's the one who busted my balls for dropping snowflakes.
They work for me.
Some really nice heel work during Jack Evans' shine, the finger bite and things like that. There was a handspring into an eye gouge that I thought might have been a botch, but he cleaned it up well. And a really nice. It might have been Jack. I'm not sure. You'd have to watch it.
I like that idea, just the handspring into an eye gouge, because that's not typically where that ends. It's like a Young Bucks doing a handspring into a back rake. I love that kind of little twists because it's Healy. Yep. It's also part of it is not paying off on what you're expecting to happen. So as when a bad guy does a move that's impressive and you're like, oh, here he's going to do this, and then at the very last second he turns it into an eye gouge, that's great because that makes you hate the bad guy, which I think is part of it.
Yes, but I thought it in this case, it didn't feel like it was supposed to be an eye gouge. A really good finish, but there was a very noticeable edit after Drago took a bump. That's my one issue thing.
Catch that.
If you see it again, this is what some people have complaints with Lucha Underground, is that it's hard to judge these matches. It's hard to drop the snowflakes as you would with other matches because you can't tell where sometimes they can hide the edits better. Maybe they've done it before.
Well, stop. You know what? Maybe Trav, stop thinking about it in terms of dropping a rating as if it would be compared to a different wrestling match. Maybe just this is a Travis Woloshyn rating. You know?
Well, I gave it 3 stars.
Are we dropping last names on the pod now?
Yeah, Travis Woloshyn.
Fuck off, you drunk! Don't say people's full names.
Travis Woloshyn.
It's okay.
Travis Woloshyn. Right, you can find him. He lives in Vancouver, in East Vancouver, off Dundas
3 North
First.
His wife and a beautiful daughter.
That's right. That's right. If you have anything you disagree with him, you know what? You can show up at his house at midnight after nightfall, and he will take you to town.
So I gave this 3 stars with the edit. It barely made the cut because it was a quick match, but it was still really, really good. Jack Evans, I realized when he cut that promo afterwards, I called himself the Dragon Slayer. You know who he reminds me of? Think of somebody local.
Here Vancouver local.
Are you talking about someone who is phantasmoic?
Yeah, totally.
He's very much got a cockiness of El Phantasmo.
El Phantasmo, for those of you not familiar with ECCW, is a huge talent. And I think he could fit in very well with Lucha Underground if they ever...
Absolutely.
If they had the balls.
So that was that man. And here's what I was thinking. Remember, you talked about a possible best of 5 again with somebody.
Willie Mack versus Darewolf.
But I think this could be a best of 5. Jack Evans and and Drago.
You couldn't have Drago do another best of
Why
5.
not? If he's
Unless
already
that's his
established himself
thing.
as like this workhorse kind of.
If Drago does a best of 5 in season 2, then Drago is doing a best of 5 in season 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Sure.
Keep counting. I'm loving it.
'Cause,
We love counting.
I think they look like they had some really nice chemistry, right?
Yeah, it was good. Drago's awesome.
Yeah.
I missed the blue suit a little bit. Mm-hmm. I like the original blue Drago.
But this was something new. He hadn't worn this one before, had he?
Yeah. He wore it
He
at
was?
the end.
Oh,
He's
okay.
had 3 suits on Lucha Underground. He said the blue suit. He said the red suit. He said the black suit.
And this one was black, right?
This one was also black, guys.
I guess when you make your debut, you want to start with the black.
All right. So moving on.
Next segment was Tejano, who reminds me a lot of Michael Pena. Do you know the actor?
Yes.
Yeah, he reminds me a lot of him. I mean that in like a great way. That guy's really talented and really
They
funny.
look the same. Certainly.
Yeah, and I think they have similar acting style.
And did you notice it was also random luchadors fighting him in a bar? It wasn't just
Yeah.
people.
Yes.
It was luchadors.
And he was reminded of Blue Demon and Chavo. I think he had kind of a flashback to that. And he gets involved in this fight, and then he's like, "Thanks for the rope, bartender," and starts swinging the. I'll take the 4-foot nylon or whatever.
I'll take the 4 foot,
Burlap.
2.5 inch gauge rope that you happen to have behind the bar.
Of course, Tejano. Here you are.
They use it for some kind of like medieval sugarcane grinding mechanism.
It's yeah.
To make drinks with.
I like
and it-
Texano. He was good.
Tejano.
Is it weird to you that he is being portrayed? He is being pushed as this like I am Mexico. I am Mexican. I am Mexico. But his name is Tejano, which means like the Texan. It's weird, right?
I don't know. I
Brilliant commentary, guys. Thank God nobody listens to this podcast.
I think he's great.
I have
he's
no
really
thoughts
good.
on it. I have fucking.
Yeah, and I think he's
Texano.
really good. I think that's. I don't think there's much to. I think they just gave him a name. But is that's his name in AAA, right?
Couldn't tell you.
I don't know either.
Yeah,
I just
it is.
thought
It is.
Yeah. So maybe that goes back to something else we don't know about his full story. I thought it was interesting as well that he did when they give him a shot after that shit kicking in a beer mug. He's like, "Here's a shot of whiskey. All we have are these giant beer mugs."
Nice.
It's it is a place that can't afford
I know. Yeah, look, there's a divey.
get smaller glasses. They've got 20 glasses, and that's it.
But several lengths and girths of rope, if need be, should the time ever come.
Glass is expensive in the wrong, in a certain communities.
Rope is a dime a dozen.
Kevin, just relax.
I'm not doing fine.
Next
I'm just tired.
Next segment.
I'm tired.
They work for me!
All right.
Next segment. Puma.
Never heard of him.
Puma.
Oh, yes.
And Katrina again. And they confirm what you had mentioned earlier about Conan's death.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Did you notice that, Kev? Mm-hmm. That Conan is dead.
They talked about it. Like it was.
So, do you have something you'd like to say to me?
No.
Like maybe, Max, I'm sorry I ever doubted you.
I didn't doubt you. I didn't see last season. I didn't know he was in a fucking box. Don't listen, drunk Max, with your fucking 1,000-yard stare. I don't remember disputing you on that.
So Conan is dead. He's no longer in the Lucha Underground.
Oh shit!
So there. so
Like,
it
as
looked
long
like-
as we all understand at this point in the podcast, literally nobody is listening. It's us. This is for us. We're just having fun.
Every
and
episode
it's
is
really
pretty
enjoyable. It's really enjoyable.
Yeah,
For a couple of us, right? So it seems like she's trying to do some psychological
God.
torture on Puma in this scene. We'll see. And it tells us that next week we're getting Puma versus Pentagon. Mm-hmm. And this leads us into the main event, Phoenix versus Cuerno, in a last luchador standing match. Good reactions from Mil Muertes throughout. A non-title is never explained.
Yeah.
And so I think it was stupid to have referenced it.
Yeah, I agree.
I wrote down here, Banner is crazy for not liking that Gift of the Gods belt. It's gorgeous.
I just don't like the look.
It's gorgeous.
I couldn't agree more about making that match not a title match. Seems so strange. And it's probably only because they wanted Phoenix to win. If it was Cuerno who's going to win, then he would have retained and it wouldn't have mattered. So for some reason, they wanted Phoenix to win that match.
Yeah. Well, as this week we learned that there's no automatic rematch clause. So maybe he has to prove that he deserves that dog shit looking belt.
Yeah. Cuerno and Phoenix, they end that match with an amazing spot with going up the ladder, and Cuerno gets pushed off the ladder directly through, like a pendulum, pushed through the table and just like splat like a bug on the mat. I thought it was
on the outside.
Yeah, it was.
This is the best match we've seen this season, fellas.
Oh, really? You think so?
Yeah.
I still feel like the very first match, same two guys, was the best match.
No, man, the finish to this match, and this had. Let me go through this quickly.
What about Kobra Moon versus Bengala, though?
Nope. Did you hear any snowflakes fall? Thick hips. Striker really put the trashy temple over in this one. I like when he does that every once in a while. Talks about how grimy it is when they're stuck on the outside. So that was good, especially for a last luchador standing match, right? Because they're going to be outside there. Really good fun throw into the chairs. It's the first time, so it had a good indie feel to the match that we don't. Sometimes you get that a little more than others in Lucha Underground. I have "come on" written down here in quotes. I'm not sure. Oh, King Cuerno says that to the ref at some point. I don't know why that must have stood out to me. Phoenix had a hot missile drop kick off the top, and again he did that corkscrew.
He did
again. Only it looked even better, I thought, this time. At this point, I thought. I've written down here, Phoenix is the MVP of this season
without a
so
doubt.
far.
Yeah.
I can't. That's not even arguable.
Fun fact that I was telling the boys earlier that I learned is that Phoenix is the biological brother of Pentagon Jr.
Yeah.
And Phoenix is still a young man. Like, he's 25 years old.
How old is Pentagon?
56. I'm not sure. I didn't do all of my research.
Junior? Junior is 56?
Yeah.
Oh, I may have been looking at Pentagon.
Oh my god.
Gracias.
So then King Cuerno has a really good arrow to the outside. Lets a ladder, stops the count, gets the table. Phoenix stops something. I can't read it. And the crowd is red hot. This is the hottest the crowd had been for anything so far. And when he flips, he gets changes the thing over to Cuerno falls through the table, off the table instead of Phoenix. It's great. The setup for it was awesome. And when he's cheering on that 10 count at the end, that was the most into a match I've been so far.
Oh really?
Yeah, like that.
You're
and
cheering for
that's
Phoenix.
Yeah. Or just like you get swept up with the crowd for that, there's the emotional investment. That's the kind of stuff that gets you up to 4 stars, man. That's what I thought about that match.
You gave that a 4-star.
Yep, great emotion, good storytelling, and 2 of the company's best talents, I think.
Yeah, without a doubt. How many stars would you have given the Bengala Kobra Moon match?
Less than 3, I guess.
Less than 3.
You didn't hear.
Well, what do you give the thick hip?
Yeah. If you're gonna rate the hips.
Why did you not instantly say 5 stars? Because those are she's goddamn.
Those are nice hips, but
This
we've seen
match is getting snug.
All right.
We've
okay.
seen nicer
So that
hips.
was the match ends with who won that match?
Phoenix with that great 10 count, and he's
10
standing up on top of Dario's office there, or Katrina's office. Pardon me.
Do you guys feel like things are lacking because of no Dario Cueto?
I miss him.
I miss him.
I
We
do.
saw him
He's
briefly, very briefly
In
this
episode
season.
1?
yeah.
And then nothing else.
He's
He was in a Super Bowl commercial, and apparently he was also in an episode of
It's Always Sunny in
in
Philadelphia.
Recently.
worked a lot.
but he's not in his own show.
he is my favorite personality in all of Lucha Underground. That's what I thought after season 1. Yeah. And I hope they have bigger plans for him. We heard his name more in the following episode, but let's talk about this last sequence, our last segment that everybody was pretty jazzed about, because there was another big reveal.
Oh, of course.
Right.
It's huge.
That
Cortez,
who had been around, part of the crew,
Right.
turned out to be a undercover police officer.
Detective
Surprise.
Reyes.
It was amazing because
That's the name that he performs under on other indies. He's Ricky Reyes.
Oh, is that real?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
is he a cop?
No.
Shows with bombers and like a badge necklace.
So we see Ricky Reyes being spoken to by his captain. And
Captain Vasquez.
Yeah, Captain Vasquez. She's a woman. It's 2016.
And she is also a really bad actress.
The drizzling shits.
Yeah.
They were all bad.
But, let's not say they were all bad, because the segment was saved by the Lollipop King, Mr. Joey Ryan.
Yeah, that was great to
But
see.
even his acting, it felt like oddly enough, it felt like a bad lead into a porno scene. That's what that
was on brand for him,
Yeah.
which was fine. But here's where it went bad. When we see him debut in the next episode, he comes out, he has lines, he's got things to say, and it feels so fake, because he had another promo, another vignette in this week's episode.
Are we on to this week's?
Yeah, we're moving on. We're there.
Let's
But I do want to say quickly that it's still a great visual of the two of them. Like, to have them as like these buddy cops.
Yeah.
It looks really
that
great.
was hilarious.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I know.
It's so good on paper.
So good on paper. You're right.
I'm very concerned right now.
Don't be.
Yeah? Why?
Have faith in Dario Cueto.
I'm just concerned. I'm just very nervous. I'm nervous about I'm nervous about the acting being so bad that it's actually affecting my enjoyment, and I never thought it would.
Yeah.
And I think it might have something to do with how good Dario was.
Yeah.
And it's like a good match, right? You got a great work. You got guys who can have a match with a broomstick. Dario is the guy who can have a promo with a broomstick.
Or a scene with the broomstick. Yeah.
And he's not there. And then you've got Katrina who's there, who's,
She's good.
Great bangs.
Great bangs. Exactly.
She's not terrible.
She's not terrible, but when you
She's
put
not
her
very
against a guy who is terrible, man, they both come down.
Yeah, she rather than whoever she's in the scene with rising to her level, she sinks to theirs, which is
It's
not
true.
good.
It's
Because
true.
she's been in there with some booms.
Yeah, it's just like I'm very nervous right
Well,
now.
we'll see what they have planned for him. Because why would they show him at the end of the first episode if he's not going to show up at all? It's got to come through at some point.
Yeah. They're slow cooking us on this.
I hope so.
And then by the time we're done
Well, yeah,
cooking,
you're
baby,
right.
this meat's gonna fall off the bone.
But you're right. But that it doesn't matter how slick these scenes are shot, because they are shot very slick. If you have shitty actors, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah. This week we did see the worst acting I think I've ever seen in a professional wrestling vignette. And I love him. I love his wrestling. I love his look. I love everything about him. But the fucking acting work from the Mack this week. In the hallway with Sexy Star, we see in the post credits escapes the moth, and she's running down a hall, and the Mack is saving her, and it's fucking bad.
Yeah.
How
It's
bad,
not even just like not good. It was fucking brutal. I've
Yeah.
never seen that poor level of acting come out of a television.
Yeah, they must have shot that. Like, he had 2 lines. They could have shot that 100 times.
Yeah.
I don't
And
remember
that's what
cringing
they
as much
used.
as you guys did to that.
Oh
that I
my
did the
God,
other
it was
ones.
bad.
But see, like, I almost kind of buy him as a bad actor, because he is that blaxploitation kind
You
of.
can't have a bad actor in this.
It wasn't intentional bad acting, or it wasn't bad acting for the gimmick. It was just bad.
Yeah, all right.
If a friend of mine was involved in a project and acted that poorly, I would fucking remove them from Facebook. I would delete their number from my telephone.
It was bad.
I'd still follow them on Twitter, but I'm a bit of a geek for Twitter,
It's interesting. The thing about Lucha Underground is that it has these cinematic vignettes, and suddenly it requires the wrestlers to have a new skill set. And if they can't rise to the occasion, then the whole program suffers.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different in a traditional wrestling show where suddenly you give a guy a mic and he's expected to give an enhanced sports interview, right? It's different.
Oh,
Now
yeah,
we want you to act.
Yeah, I'm starting to think
harder.
Jim Cornette was on to something. No, I wasn't.
No, he's still an asshole.
It's just this might be the most unprotected I think a wrestler has been. Like there was really no need for them to even show Willie Mack delivering those terrible lines. Like
Yeah.
imagine just like some slow-mo with mysterious music, Sexy Star just stumbling down the whatever that was, like the hallway
Of wherever,
of the temple, banging into a dumpster, slinking down and saying it was his sister. It'd be fine.
Yeah.
It'd be so easy to have done that.
And then just a good facial from Mack instead, because we know he's
that's
good at
his
those.
strength.
No,
Just
no.
bust out the eyeball.
Yeah.
Do you think that in that match, that Willie Mack match, he actually damaged his other eye, and that's why he was squinting it so hard?
I think you're overthinking.
No, I think he damaged his one eye.
I think it's a
he's-
guy who's not good at acting, who's been put into a position where he has to act. And again, I will say again, his wrestling is great.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
love watching him work. But it was the worst thing I've
was.
ever seen on a television screen.
It was pretty bad.
See where it goes.
It's the worst thing I've ever seen, and I once walked in on my great uncle getting a Hummer.
Is that true?
No.
Oh, well, you just got to fact check this type of thing.
Do you want to get into episode 4?
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that-
Segment 1, Evilise. She says fur. I thought it was
Oh,
interesting.
yeah.
She said fur instead of four. That's why I thought she might have been Canadian.
That whole sequence, that whole scene was just not good.
Yeah,
No.
no, that sucked.
Yeah.
Evilise and
And it advances their storyline. That looks like
Eventually they'll fight.
they're going to fight. Yeah, they want the trios belt, but they have to fight another team.
so
And
then
then
we cut to the ring and they
we cut to who I didn't mention in the earlier thing, but it cuts to Vampiro and Matt Stryker talking, and the guy right in the middle of them who was there last time, just this kind of hipster Pugsley we
Yep.
called him. He had black and white stripe. He looked like and he just had this blank look on his face both times.
Yeah.
right in between them.
I'm sure he was there. I'm sure he was there the last episode.
sure.
They shoot like 4 episodes.
Yeah. So that's probably what it was, right? But I just thought it was funny, and he's just so obvious. So this first match was our beloved Angelico, Ivelisse, and Son of Havoc versus Chavo, Cisco, and Cortez.
That's right.
Wink,
Chavo
wink.
makes his return.
Good to see Chavo back. Also with Angelico. I'm not going to put any
Okay.
spice on it.
All right.
With
Sorry.
Angelico back, I feel like I should take the opportunity to apologize to the people of South Africa. Actually, no, I won't do that, but I will apologize to nobody. Let's move on.
Gracias. Gracias.
You guys should know I didn't take anywhere near as extensive notes as I did.
That's fine.
I'll tell you, one of my first notes for this is I don't care about Cisco
No,
at
not a
all.
bit. It's been all downhill since the thong song. You knew that was coming, huh? Yeah.
Here's the question.
Uh,
We found out that Cortez is an undercover cop. Mm-hmm. We know... Okay, so Cortez is an undercover cop. Is Chavo Guerrero a cop?
No.
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 No, he's
So,
a Guerrero.
okay, that's what I thought. Is Mr. Cisco... Is Mr. Cisco a cop?
egg?
He's a Guerrero.
Oh, okay.
He's a good egg.
He's a
He's
stand-up
a good
cat.
egg. You
Is
know,
Mr. Cisco a
Give
cop?
me the shirt off his
No.
back.
No. The only two cops are Joey Ryan and Reyes / Cortez.
Okay. So what's the scenario where Cortez gets instructed by his police captain to go back to the temple, and then somehow he recruits
Captain Vasquez.
Chavo Guerrero. Thanks, Chavo Guerrero and Mr. Cisco.
Not a chance. No, like if anything, he's going to he's trying to incriminate, catch them in the act of something.
It just seems weird.
No, like there's a lot of like bad news happening at this temple, man.
Yeah, that's
guy
true.
got eaten.
Yeah.
A lot of murder.
Conan's
my
dead.
God.
Conan was.
By the way, did you guys read the second Lucha Underground comic book that came out?
I
No,
didn't read the first.
I read the first one.
So much killing in it.
Really?
It's absurd.
Is it?
The Disciples of Death comb the streets of Los Angeles, murdering random people. I'm
that's
talking young women,
Really?
young men, they chop their heads off. They take their skulls, and that's the skulls that are in Mil Muerte's throne.
Hey, Chihuahua.
They're fucking serial killers. That's crazy.
Good.
It's just shocking.
Well, I mean,
Too extreme.
it's not working for their in-ring, right? So you gotta do
right.
something. Yeah, that's whatever. I thought Angelico helped this match's pace, but overall, meh. Did you guys think?
Yeah, I mean,
There were some amazing maneuvers, but I didn't enjoy the match on a whole.
I thought he had some. He was.
Angelico was the star.
Yeah. And there was some dissension between Cisco and Chavo and Cortez a bit at the end, and then ran into Tejano with his rope, which whatever.
Yep.
Next segment was Mundo and his kind of little promo vignette.
Yeah, he was working out at his house.
Yeah,
that was the
Next.
first. That was the first Mundo promo we've ever seen in Lucha Underground. He wrestled in like the first episode, and his entire reputation is based on his in-ring. And we've seen vignettes with him interacting with other characters, but we've never seen a package like that. So it's kind of nice, actually. I kind of like appreciated that because I know how much those packages for other wrestlers like Drago or Pentagon Jr. really emphasize their characters in certain ways.
Yep.
So it was kind of cool to see them kind of put that on characters that you wouldn't expect.
Yeah, I like Johnny Mundo a lot.
Yeah.
I think I said that earlier. I don't think he has a ton of charisma, but more than some of these other kids who are going to have a hard time with that heavy lifting you were talking about. In
Physical
terms of
charisma is great. Like in the ring, his promo stuff. His promos aren't great, but the way that they shoot and edit these and cut them together,
But
he definitely does.
and that's what I mean. He can do it better than we saw with Cortez and Joey Ryan.
I watched Daniel Bryan's third. I went to the network and I wanted to watch some early Daniel Bryan stuff, and his third pay-per-view was a three-way: Daniel Bryan versus The Miz versus Johnny Nitro, Johnny Mundo,
Johnny Morrison.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, it was good. Morrison was good.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan was good. The Miz
He
was
is
good.
Good.
It was all good. I was impressed. I was
John
surprised.
Morrison is
honestly.
good. He puts on good matches.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got? We're doing this for the sake of obligation. Let's
Joey
keep
Ryan
pushing.
and Reyes were a bit better than last week, but it was still blah. Keeps.
You know what I thought about today?
Oh, I thought it was interesting. Sorry,
No, go for it.
I thought it was interesting that they've basically like they've changed so many characters of these people who have been working in the indies here and stuff. But Joey Ryan's got to basically keep his entire gimmick.
The King of Sleaze.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Like, so they're writing this in a different way that this other stuff is being written, where they have these characters plotted out and where their arcs are going to go. But then they kind of saw this guy, and it's like, okay, well, we can kind of work him in here somewhere.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I got this real strange feeling that, season 2 is different. It doesn't feel like a continuation from season 1. Season 1 seemed like here's a bunch of mysterious wrestlers that you don't know, that nobody knows, or if they do wrestle in a different promotion, we will change them. We'll give them we'll give them a new mask, a new character, and they'll roll with it. And they just had there were just very few missteps in that. And so far, like in these last 2 episodes, I'm just getting concerned. Kobra Moon was not good in ring. She was not good in ring.
But
Joey Ryan is not a great actor.
Yeah.
And it's like, and Aerostar, he's from 1,000 years in the past. Like, it's just a little too much,
Really?
Yeah, for me, I'm beginning to feel like this is.
Drop Max is putting his foot down.
I'm just saying, like,
What is this shit?
I know it's not shit. I'm just saying, like, I am very, very easy to please, and it doesn't take a lot for me to buy into your like universe or whatever story you're telling.
Sure.
I want to be entertained.
You admire ambition.
Of course I do.
Yeah.
You know I do.
Yeah.
I'm just feeling like lately they're just really pushing. They're really asking a lot from me as an audience member.
Yeah.
Kobra Moon is not a great wrestler. Aerostar is from 1,000 years in the past.
Why is that a problem?
Hey, well, I'll tell you why.
No,
it's
I-
past.
that's- I
I'll tell you why it's a problem.
Okay.
Okay, let me explain why this is upsetting me. Because at the end of season 1, it was still a little bit unexplicit. It was not explicit, right? It wasn't like this man is a dragon. This man is from outer space. It's like the way they shot things and the way people talked about things. Things were just very up for interpretation. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, here we are 3 episodes into season 2, and it's like Aerostar is 10,000 years from the past. He's an alien. He hung out with Incan warriors, and now he's traveled into the future.
Aztec warriors.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, it's
I
just
know,
like,
I
it's
know.
just too much. It's a little bit too much. And the problem is, it's not just like the writing is a little too much. Okay? The wrestling, you're asking me to buy into a story that is a little extreme now. Like just 1 or 2 steps outside my, what I'm willing to do.
I want that. I will want it because that's what Lucha Underground is here for. It's a departure from the fucking same old shit. Like, I don't remember any other WWE guys that were 1,000 years old. Or that were
right?
fucking snakes from the moon.
And he's not necessarily 1,000 years old. He was just there 1,000 years. Like, he was there.
But he travels through time.
So what's wrong with that?
You can't travel through time?
You can't, and you can't. But it's okay to have a monster who lives in a cage that eats people.
Because we don't know that he ate people. We like to project that.
A chop
Right,
to
it's
the
not
chest
explicit.
doesn't slow you down. So a fucking guy who could time travel doesn't bother me as much.
It's just...
It's all in the suspension of disbelief. You could pick apart anything in wrestling if you choose to, or if you just choose to go, yeah, motherfuckers fucking.
Well, that's what I mean.
Let's
Okay,
go.
so yeah, you're absolutely right. Right? I am the type of guy who's willing to let so much go. So much go. But then when you tell me, oh, this wrestler's from 1,000 years in the past, I'm like, whoa, hold up. I just don't know if I can buy into that.
You're a centuryist.
But I feel with Lucha, that's what Lucha Underground is.
Yes. So what else do we have in the notes? What the fuck else happened?
I'm just saying.
No, this
I
is
don't
good.
know if it is. I don't know if it is what it is. Like for me, I always thought, okay, that's kind of what they're implying.
Yeah.
But it's up for debate, right? Let you project your own details into it. And then when they came out and said, no, actually, Aerostar is an alien from 10,000 years in the past, I'm like, whoa.
I did
whoa,
a fucking
whoa.
fist
That's
pump.
pretty
I was
concrete,
stoked.
guys.
Woo!
Pretty concrete.
I don't want my fucking wrestling show to be like the season finale of the Sopranos.
I know.
I don't want interpretation. I just want to know what's
you were
going
talking
on.
about we were talking about how do you think they have an idea of where they're going with the 7 Aztec tribes? I think now, because of that scene and because of some stuff we saw this
I
week,
have to.
that they do have a plan.
I
for
have
it.
to believe. I have to believe.
I think we're seeing seeds that are planted for this story.
I hope
I think
that
that's what that is.
That there's some whiteboard in an office somewhere that says female snake wrestler, and they're like, "Who are we gonna get?" It's like, I don't know. Nobody like this exists. Oh, well, we could bring in this one girl. Oh well, she hasn't wrestled a lot, but no, but listen, she fits in perfectly into the
Look at those
narrative. We
fucking
have to do
hips.
it. So then they
don't
bring
lie.
in Kobra Moon. I'm just saying, it's a lot to ask. It's a lot to ask on one episode or the span of two episodes to have terrible wrestling, terrible writing, and terrible acting. It's difficult for me.
Again, I thought we got the best match of the season. I thought episode 3 was the best episode we've had this season.
Yeah. I mean, Phoenix and Cuerno.
And we got 2 really
Are-
good matches.
Phoenix and Cuerno are on their next level, right? The producers can hand them anything, and they would kill it. Kobra Moon versus Joey Ryan. A whole episode. Imagine this. A whole episode. It's Kobra Moon,
Yeah.
Joey Ryan.
That'd be terrible.
It's in the locker room. They slam each other up against the tile walls. They say stuff to each other. They're all
Why
oiled
are
up.
we making a scenario that here's how it would suck?
No,
Here's how the show would be.
I want to hear where he's going.
No,
with this.
no, it's fine. It's like they're there. They've been filmed in like an amazing way. The acting is terrible, and it's all building up to the main event. Then they go into the main event, and the wrestling is Joey Ryan is probably pretty good. Kobra Moon is not so hot. He's certainly not going to elevate her to a great level, so the wrestling is bad. And then at the end, Aerostar comes down from the roof with like sparkles, drops into the center of the ring. It's like, I'm from the future. Is that good?
Yes.
Is that good?
I'll do the fucking yes chant
they're
for an hour
doing-
if they do that.
The Lucha Underground, in the same way that the big boys, not in the same way, but they both want to appeal. Well, they want to be everything to everyone. There's like the girl power that we get from Sexy
Right.
Star. We get the real kind of 2 blood and guts matches over 39 episodes, right? So they're appealing to that crowd. You get like the pure wrestling stuff that we like.
You get your kidnappers with Marty the Mom.
Yes. Get your frat boy kidnappers.
Oh my God.
So hot right now.
At the frat boy kidnapper.
Yeah. He's like a modern day, I guess, he's like Martin
Modern day
Shkreli.
what?
No, he's like a Martin Shkreli. Well, that is modern day.
Who the fuck is Martin Shkreli?
He's
The guy who bought the Wu-Tang album.
who,
I want to
sold
go
the-
to bed. What's the next segment?
Kevin,
I think-
we are running over on time.
Yeah.
Kevin, what is one more thing you want to talk about? Anything off the top of your head about
You
this?
don't wanna get
These
in-
past 2 episodes?
No, we could get into, we could get into stuff. We don't
Okay.
have to
Okay.
zip through it, but
So we get into Joey Ryan versus Cage. Cage is really good for his size.
he's amazing
Yeah.
size for a guy
Really
that
is.
big and muscular to be doing like springboard moonsaults in the corner.
A really cool backbreaker.
Yeah,
There's an episode of
power bomb onto the knee.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an episode of Talk is Jericho where he is doing a house show in Mexico, and I think he's actually interviewing Becky Lynch, who's also there, and they're talking about the night before they had watched a show on TV, and it was AAA, and Jericho was talking about like there was some guy who's so huge, I don't know who he was, but he did like a moonsault off the second rope. It was amazing. I am 100% certain it was Brian Cage.
Cage.
So good.
Yep. Yeah, he's really good. Ryan has a great look, but his in-ring doesn't really match his
How so?
look. He's throwing super kicks the way the Young Bucks do and stuff, but he seems like he should be like the sleazy kind of something different. That's what I thought. But how long has he been working?
Oh, at least a decade.
Really?
Oh,
That
yeah.
long?
A long time. He
He's
won.
gotta be in his.
He won Battle of Los Angeles one year.
Yeah.
Like 10 years ago.
I feel like he can fine tune his stuff a bit more to fit his, like, 'cause he has a great look, an incredible look, right? But something doesn't really quite match. After the match, there's our boy with the best spear in the temple. Johnny Mundo shows up and
Go
hits.
to bed. I can't
Cage.
stand.
Hits Cage with a spear.
A small guy like Johnny Mundo, first of all, shouldn't be throwing a spear. But second of all, hitting a spear on the biggest. Is he the biggest guy in the company?
We haven't
One
seen
of
Big
the
Rick. We
biggest.
haven't seen Big Rick.
Big Ryck is not showing up. I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because he was murdered.
Really?
In the latest Lucha Underground
Comic book. He was written out in print.
by the Disciples of Death.
Jeepers. That's rough.
You're shaking.
That's a damn shame.
You're concerned.
I like that character.
Me too.
I guess they just, man, like when you're written off, or when you don't sign on for the next season.
Big
they'll-
Ryck is dead. Conan is dead.
My quick Google in my palm here tells us that Joey Ryan is 36 and he has been wrestling since the year 2000. So he's definitely a
There you go.
And his gimmick is over. There's just something that's a little out of. I think he can go further with it. He can go further with his stuff.
Yeah, there's gotta be. Have you seen a Joey Ryan match though where he goes full tilt? Because he starts by with that lollipop.
Yeah.
He sticks it into his trunks,
Yes.
and then halfway through the match, he'll pull it back out and he'll shove it in your face, and then you'll be sucking on
I've
this.
seen a match where he shoved it into a man's dairy. No, it was put into his own bottom. And then they pulled it out and stuck it in his mouth.
Gross.
Well, I mean, it depends on what you're into, man.
Yeah. Anyways, when Mundo comes back and Cage gets the better of him, and another really, really good, more great stuff from him. It looks. I think they have big plans for Cage. I'm starting to think so.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. I have a feeling that he has built up his reputation in AAA, and he probably has a big following at this point. I mean, I don't think that he was wrestling in Mexico before they brought him into Lucha Underground. I think he started in Lucha Underground, and then got notoriety in Mexico by that. So I wouldn't be surprised. You know, he builds up his reputation in the meantime. In that 6 months when there was no Lucha Underground, and now they got to push him a little bit.
I
Makes
can't
sense.
believe that Vince isn't all over him. So in the next segment, we get Dragon Azteca and Rey Mysterio training. And Rey teaches him the story of your mentor, the original Dragon Azteca, who died in the previous season.
He got punched in the head by an Asian girl and died.
Yeah. And they start talking about a way to unite the 7 tribes. So this is the big arc. The big arc for this season, I think, is the uniting of the 7 tribes. Mm-hmm. The other big arc is Vampiro and
psychology,
and Vampiro's Atropiprazole and how he is related to what goes on with Pentagon Jr. Yeah, that was a good segment. A really good segment, I thought. Lots of information. Yeah. I think there's, if you want to start tying dots together, go back, or putting the dots back together, you go back and watch that. We learned that Mundo versus Cage is happening next week, and then we get finally our match 3 of 2 of the biggest stars, the 2 biggest stars in the temple. Prince Puma versus Pentagon Jr. I said this out loud, and I wrote it down. Puma's a goddamn superhero in the temple. He's awesome.
Here's my question for you guys. At the end of this season, who is the Lucha Underground champion?
I would say it would be between the 2 guys that main evented tonight. It's either Pentagon or Puma.
I'm going to go Phoenix.
That is insane. It is definitely going to be Pentagon Jr. Hands down.
You think so?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so without a doubt. I cannot possibly picture a situation where... Oh, okay. Maybe Phoenix.
Yeah.
Maybe Phoenix. Maybe
he got
Phoenix.
that gift of the gods taken away from him early on.
Yeah. Puma makes sense as well.
But he's already had it.
And I think they're trying to build something. And Pentagon Jr. is so popular.
I think Pentagon Jr. could get it early on, but
he doesn't need it.
No.
Sometimes they put a belt on a guy just to make him get him up a little bit more. Pentagon Jr. does not need that. So
that's a good point.
Yeah, I don't know. I figured one of those guys, but mostly I was just trying to give an answer because I want to go to bed.
All right.
Wait. The post-match stuff here with Puma almost breaking his arm and then deciding not to is fucking awesome. That's great storytelling, man.
Puma
you want to talk about the
Pentagon
stuff that
down.
didn't work? That was great stuff. That's great character work. Puma's the man. Pentagon Jr.'s
As
awesome.
he was setting him up, and we were all sitting there losing our shit going, oh my God, he's going to break his arm. I didn't want him to do it. I was like,
I know.
You're just as bad as him. And when he let his arm go and was like, I'm not as bad. It was great.
I wanted him to break the arm because I was like, I don't know where this goes.
Could have been a big
arm. If he breaks his arm, where does this go?
Yeah.
Where does this go? But at the same time, when he didn't, I was also relieved. It was perfect. It was a perfect situation. It was win-win.
Yeah.
It was win-win.
Yeah. You need that white knight. You need at least one white knight.
Yeah.
You need your Cena. You need your Superman. We loved Vampiro's reactions through that too, right? Yeah. Those cutaways. Those are my favorite.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite. They always happen with Pentagon.
Vamp at the table looking just vampy. He just looked like...
But kind of like, whoa, what's going on?
What was that anxiety line Vampiro had?
That's right.
Oh, Joey Ryan was pouring baby oil on his dick, and Vampiro goes, Stryker, what's going on here? I don't understand. Explain it to me before I have an anxiety attack. It's like, what is to understand? A fucking a beautiful man.
And I swear, you can barely hear it. You can barely hear it. You can barely hear it. But Stryker says, "Are you taking your Atropiprazole?"
No way.
He didn't say it. You son of a bitch.
All right.
We're still at one reference during the season.
Yeah. Okay, we've been talking for 1 hour. I'm going to cut this down to 25 minutes.
No
You'd be
way.
my hero.
No, but this is two episodes we're talking about here. It can go a little longer than half an hour.
I'm going to cut.
I just feel like there's.
I'm going to cut it down to
of
20 minutes.
See what you can find.
I'm
having a blast.
It's almost
It'll be
it's
45
almost a test to see how tight you can get this.
Guys, next episode. We still haven't seen Aerostar, Sexy Star. We haven't seen any of the stars wrestle.
Not yet.
Are we going to see them wrestle?
I hope we see Aerostar.
Kevin! If only this was a visual medium.
It's been a long night.
Yeah. Are we going to see them wrestle next episode?
Aerostar, maybe. Sexy Star, no.
Will we see Sexy Star wrestle at all? My God.
Well,
there's another female wrestler that's going to debut in this season. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
She's from Victoria, British Columbia.
Taya Valkyrie.
Right.
Yeah. She's a former ECCW.
Sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Supergirls? when they had the Supergirls out
I
here.
think that sounds about right.
Like Becky. They had some Becky Lynch.
Wow, they wrestled together?
I don't know.
It was a while back.
But out here, I know we had
Journalism.
Becky Lynch.
We're all about journalism.
Listen,
Okay, Kevin's tired. I'm tired. Travis.
wide awake.
I
Travis is
don't
wide
like
awake.
Max putting himself in my category of tired. He's drunk. We've established that with a chant. Max is shit faced.
He put he had air quotes when he said, "I'm tired."
Alright.
So we'll be back next week for Lucha Afterground.
The question is, do you